Hello everybody, and welcome to another talk from Planet Corydoras. I'm Tim. Today I wanted to talk to you into regards of Corydoras and Salt. Now, that for a lot of people immediately strikes terror into their hearts, thinking that Corydoras, scaleless fish, salt is gonna kill them. Well, I'm here to talk about some of the facts around this myth and prove to you how this isn't the case and how exactly salt can be of huge benefit to Corydoras when used in the right quantities and in the right way. The first things I'd like to say is that I have first-hand experience with using salt with Corydoras. I have used it on many species. Not just the odd one or two, and I will be publicising a document going through in fine detail of my experiments, so you can obviously try and replicate that. So let's start off. So first of all, let's talk about with Corydoras, why would we want to use salt? Well, there are a number of reasons for using salt. Salt can be a great thing against bacterial infections. It helps the coat of the fish to sort of renew itself. It produces more mucus to fight off any nasties which are there. It can also be great for some parasites. Some parasites just cannot take the salt levels and will die off as well. It can also be used in a nitrite poisoning situation. So if your filter has gone funky for some reason and you're seeing high nitrates and the fish are obviously not happy, you can use salt, which will actually detoxify the nitrites and also start the healing process for the fish. But bear in mind with that one, you need to ensure that you get your filter up and going, or replace it with a new one which is already ready to take the bio load of it. Salt can also be used in like a soothing sort of way as well. So if you think of that maybe after a stressful journey, the fish just are finding it difficult, it literally just soothes them. So that's another option. So as you can see, there are a number of good reasons to use it, and so now let's cover about how you use it. Well, there are a couple of methods that you can use for salt with Corydoras. Firstly, you can go with the bath method, and that is taking the fish which you want to treat with the salt, put them into a small Tupperware, something along those lines. I try and put a litre of water in there, and I would then put the salt into the bath, and we'll go through the quantities in a second, but you would put the salt in there and then you would place the fish in for somewhere between sort of the 15 to 30 minute mark. Some people will go longer than that. It all depends on what exactly you're curing, but that tends to be what I would do. Feel free to add an air stone as well to give plenty of oxygen to your fish, because they may find it a little bit stressful, obviously, that you're catching the fish and placing them into the bath. But what's key for this is to ensure that you monitor the fish all the way through. Don't walk away. Keep an eye on it, monitor its behaviour. If you start seeing it distressed, swimming slightly to its side, anything like that, then immediately take the fish out. Don't wait for a second, take it straight out and put it back into the original fresh water of the tank. Then the second method. The second method is to actually put salt within your tank itself. Now, this might seem again like a scary situation. Things to consider here in the tank is you probably won't be using quite such a concentrate amount of salt within the tank, because it's going to be more long lasting. Be sure that no other fish in the tank are salt sensitive. Think of things like your snails, for example. Snails are particularly sensitive to it, so in fact a lot of people use it even to kill them. So be sure that your snails are going to be okay if you go for this. The advantage of using the tank, obviously, is you're treating something like parasites or a large quantity of fish, you're hitting them all in one go, which can't be a bad thing from that point of view. But again, the concentrations won't be quite so strong, so it might not kill off what exactly you're trying to kill off that way. So I will now go through some of the quantities with you. I'll put those up on the screen so it's easy for you to see. And I'll go through first with the bath method, and then I will go along with the tank method. I hope you now have all those quantities noted down. These are quantities that I've personally used myself with multiple species of Corydoras and have had no ill effects with those. But obviously it's key to monitor your fish all the time when you're using any sort of medication. If you see any sort of issues at all, either change them back into the tank, or you can always do a water change as well, which will dilute the amount of salt within the tank that you're using it in. So hopefully you will see quite a quick effect with salt. Things like bacterial popeye, you may actually see that being resolved within sort of 24 hours or so. It can be quite drastic how quickly this affects things like the bacterial issues, fungus and parasites. So just bear that in mind. It's a great thing to have salt within your medication cupboard. One point I would make sure is what to use salt wise. This is what I use. It's a pond salt, and it comes in large quantities, and you can then use that quite easily in the tanks. It dissolves nice and quickly as well. There's no additives or anything like that, so I find that the best salt to use myself. So hopefully now your fish are feeling much better, but bear in mind, salt doesn't always, it's not a complete wonder cure. There are other issues which maybe it can't resolve for you. So have other medication on standby if salt does not work for you on the first time around. Okay, so again, really, salt is fine for Corydoras. They're not particularly sensitive to it like some people are concerned around. You know, feel free to use it in the quantities that I have recommended and have worked for me without any issues. And so I will wish you a good luck on your journey with the Corydoras and using salt. Please feel free to leave any comments and I will reply to those. Please subscribe to the videos, and please join our Facebook group Planet Corydoras as well, and our website www.planetcorydoras.com. Thank you very much.